Welcome. I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen. If you're new to my channel, I hope you feel welcome. Come back and visit us every week. In Eva's Kitchen, we make homemade meals in 30 minutes to an hour. So, today we'll be making a juicy oven roasted chicken with veggies and a cast iron skillet. I will be giving you a tip today on how to use a cast iron skillet. So, let's get started. As you can see, we have a chicken that has been butterflied. You didn't see me butterfly it. I butterflied it previously today. So what I did was, you take the chicken, you turn it over, and you cut it down the middle. And what you're doing is taking the backbone of the chicken out. Once you take the backbone out, you flip it over and you press like chest compression until you hear the bone crack. And that way you know you can turn it back over and easily pull the bone out of the chicken. And the reason we butterflied the chicken is because if we left it whole, it's gonna take 60 to 80 minutes to prepare. And we're gonna cook this quickly tonight. We're cooking it between 40 to 50 minutes. And it'll evenly cook when you butterfly a chicken versus cooking it whole. Okay, our chicken has been butterflied. So before I season it, I'm gonna take my gloves, I'm gonna put them on and get the chicken all nice and seasoned. And I always wear gloves when you season the chicken because this chicken has to be patted dry, and we don't want to contaminate any of the veggies or any of the veggies with the chicken drippings. So I'm going to take my paper towels and I'm going to pat my chicken dry. Now that the chicken is patted dry, nice and dry, we want to thoroughly make sure it's dry. Before I tie his little legs together, I'm going to season them very well. So we have, this is the seasoning that we have that we're going to be using for the roasted chicken. I'm going to put it all in one cup, large cup, because I'm going to use some of the seasoning also on the veggies. So I have a teaspoon of salt, I have a teaspoon of black pepper, I have a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, not cayenne pepper, I'm sorry, this is paprika. The color confused me tonight. And we're gonna be using garlic powder, not salt, a teaspoon. I might have to go back and use a little bit more because I'm seasoning the front and the back, so let's just get started with this right now. I'm gonna take my spoon and I'm going to stir all my ingredients together. And being that I patted my chicken dry, I'm gonna take the spoon and between the cavity of the skin of the chicken, I'm gonna season it very well. This is the back of the chicken, as you can see. You're gonna get all down in all the crevices. Okay, I'm gonna flip him over. Gonna season it inside and out. Inside and out. Inside and out. I kind of bloopered a little bit today on the chicken what I need to do before I season it was to put some olive oil over it so all the seasonings would adhere to the chicken. So I'm just gonna drizzle some on, and I'm gonna take my hand and rub the chicken with the seasoning. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I'm seeing some spots that got mixed. So we wanna look at the chicken thoroughly to make sure it's nicely seasoned. So I'm just putting some more ingredients in, dry ingredients, to make sure this chicken is well seasoned. Take my hands, use my hands this time. I'm gonna rub it in, give them a good massage. And I'm gonna take the spoon and pour a little olive oil in there, so when I'm putting it in, it'll get nice and massaged. You wanna massage the chicken very good to make sure all the herbs get in this chicken and it's nicely seasoned. Use all that in there. Now rosemary is going to give this chicken a unique, good taste. So you see how well we have this chicken nicely seasoned? Okay, we got it seasoned pretty good. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil over the skin so the brown and crisp just right. I'm gonna take my gloves off and put a new set of gloves on, and I'm gonna tie the chicken legs at the bottom so they don't flap all over the place. Now once we get the chicken in the cast iron skillet, I'm going to give you a tip on the cast iron skillet, but I'm going to tie his legs up. I think I work better with my hands than the gloves. Okay, we got our chicken nice and tied up. We got it nicely seasoned. I'm going to take the gloves off, and I'm going to get my... For the cast iron skillet would be to preheat your oven to 500 degrees and let it sit in the oven for about 20 minutes. And that will make sure the skillet is nice and evenly heated through. We always think that the cast iron skillet cooks evenly, but it doesn't. You have to preheat it and get it heated thoroughly through for 20 minutes before you put any meat or anything in it. And if you're cooking fried chicken, just heat it 5 minutes on the stove before you put the oil in there. This is a big cast iron skillet. Do you just see the size of this cast iron skillet? I'm gonna take my Pam spray and spray it around. I didn't put any Pam in it when it was heated because I didn't want it to smoke. Now, I'm gonna put the chicken on his back. You hear that sizzle? That's what we want to hear. That's gonna get that chicken nice and brown. You hear that sizzle? Okay, now we're gonna put it in the oven for 30 minutes. For 30 minutes, we're gonna put it in the oven. We're gonna tuck the little wings under. Okay, we got it. I'm gonna wash my hands. We got this chicken in the oven, and we're gonna cook it at 425 for 30 minutes. Then I'm gonna come back and baste it, and then we're gonna put our veggies in for the latter 20 minutes. I took my potato peeler and I took the skin off my carrots, and I'm gonna elongate them this way. I'm gonna cut them elongated. That's way it's visible to the eye, and when you eat them, they're not in small little pieces. Oh, the chicken is starting to smell already. It smells delicious. We're having a Thanksgiving feast. Roasted chicken is another alternative than roasting a turkey. If you don't want to do a turkey for Thanksgiving, you can do the roasted chicken. I'm going to take the garlic and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to try and get it down the middle, but I'm going to leave some of the skin on it and just put it in the oven when I roast my veggies all together, just like this. Pick some of the skin off, but you can leave it on. And I'm gonna take my onion, cut the bottom part off, and I'm gonna cut it in quarters. And the reason I'm cutting it in quarters because when it's roasting, we want it to roast evenly and all together and not be in small pieces, because we're roasting vegetables. And when you roast vegetables, cut them in quarters. So everybody will get a big chunk of some veggies. That's how we're gonna do our onion, just like this. We can do one more, I said quarters, but we can do one more cut. And that's plenty. And we're gonna leave the skin on the potatoes. I have Yukon potatoes. I'm just gonna cut it just like this. You have to get another. Always cut your potatoes the same length. That way they cook, the cooking time would be the same. You're gonna have some done and some not. This is a wonderful new knife I got and I'm enjoying it. It cuts beautifully. Okay, we got that done. So what I did was I took a teaspoon of rosemary, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm gonna take my big bowl, I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna take my big bowl, and I have olive oil. I'm gonna take my potatoes and put them in the bowl, and my carrots, and my garlic, and my onions. I'm gonna mix it well with my hands and sprinkle all over the veggies. All over the veggies. Now, got that in. Now we're gonna pour olive oil over so it'll heat to the veggies. I'm gonna take my hand, or you can put gloves on, and just toss with your hands till all the veggies has been incorporated with all the herbs. The olive oil will make it a heat to the potatoes and the carrots and the onions. So I'm gonna set that aside, and we're not gonna put this in until the last 25 5 minutes of the cooking time of the chicken. So when I go to baste it in 30 minutes, it has about another 25 more minutes left in the oven. Then I'm gonna put the veggies in and let them roast. So have yourself a cup of coffee, relax, and we'll be right back. This is how our veggies look. The chicken has been in about an hour, about 30 minutes, 30 minutes. So we're gonna take it out and I'm gonna baste it a little bit, and then we're gonna put the veggies in, and we're getting close to the final stage. Okay, we got that chicken out of the oven. Looking good, doesn't it? See all these nice herbs? I'm gonna baste the chicken with it. And now I'm gonna put in my veggies. You don't wanna crowd the chicken, so I'm gonna put it around the chicken. This is a nice Caster Iron Skillet, and it's heavy. You don't have to put any bouillon or any kind of chicken bouillon or stock in it, because the roasting will not make them like a soup. So I'm gonna get all this ingredient. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna put it back in the oven. Let me open my oven door. And let these roast for about another 20 to 25 minutes. There, just look at there. We got about another, the veggies still, they're getting tender, but not quite. And I'm stirring it around. And we got, oh, look at the juices. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. Okay, we got another 10, 15 more minutes. Just look. The chicken is roasted perfectly. Let me get my meat thermometer and make sure the legs register. I'm sorry. This skillet done gave me a workout. It is the heaviest skillet. I need 3 people to get her out of the oven. And let's make sure it's at 165. And that lets us know that she's done. It is good and done. She's registering at 184, and it should be at 165 to 170. So I'm gonna plate her up, and this is what we got. Just look what we created. Isn't that wonderful? It cooked in 45 to 50 minutes. The vegetables are nice and tender, fork tender. The potatoes, you can cut them with a knife. This is wonderful. Seasoned perfectly. If you don't want to make a Thanksgiving turkey and dressing, and it's just 2 of you, this is an alternative. This is what hooked Megan with Harry. She cooked them roast chicken. So if you like what you see, welcome back to my channel. We do this every week. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and blessing. And remember, I'm Eva, and this is Eva's Kitchen.